I just can't be bothered. Anything I want to arrange, I can usually find a good version of it. I'm going to bring some, I got some other arrangements I'm going to bring into a corporation.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise.
Good morning, and welcome to Dalhousie University's Spring Convocation. My name is Leslie Fillmore, and I am the Associate Vice President, Academic, and I will be guiding you and us through today's ceremonies. For those who are standing, please be seated. I would like to ask Elder Tom Christmas to deliver a Mi'kmaq welcome.
Good morning. Before I start, I have to tell you my morning experience so far. I took a cab from the Lord Nelson, and it stopped at the law building. Thinking nothing of it, I just got out and started climbing the stairs. I went through the whole building looking for this place. I thought I was going to have to get an Indian guide for myself this morning. But gladly nobody noticed. And I didn't have to tell you, but it was fun. And welcome to Jalida Mi'kmaq Mudio. Kaganud Masultiju, Hakilo, Jalida Homsilba. Aholdasi Vidayo, Aholdasi Kagzada Adio. As you go to Nigga Mambalevi, Nigga, Hakilo will dazzle to Doxa, Paxapul dazzle Doxa. And in answer to Muxavadis, Gizok. Well, dazzle Gizok, Abana Muxi. Can I ask you to stand, please? This is, I'm saying the opening prayer. I'm sorry, I was speaking Mi'kmaq and I just forgot. Holdazi Gisog Abana Muxi. Happy Vanuk, Gisog Igaluxino, Amujilane, when Deputy Modio. Now Holdazi Bidaya. Megadadum, Kinigadan, Kaglamas will take care. A Megadadum kilo, Hingiguk, kilo, and Hamugingigo, Petidayo. A Holdazawala, Ziganamas will take care. A Kiso Kajik Chok, Showilikis conducted Pitradimodigala. Mi'kmaq. I have asked the Creator to help and guide each and every one of you while you're here in Mi'kmaq to be safe. And I ask the Creator to help the parents and the grandparents who have strived just as much as the students have. Right? So, I'm sure the Creator will answer positively for that. And I ask the Creator, you have to excuse my second language, it's English. I have asked the Creator to watch over you while you're here in Mi'kmaq. That's very important, because you're here for an important event to see your child or your grandchild graduate. And I personally thank each and every one of you for doing what you do for your children and your grandchildren. And the Creator will be here for us. And I thank every one of you for listening to this old man. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. Stay proud. Amen.
Okay, everybody can sit down. Kwe, Nin Dalhousie, Anne Labilwa. Hello, my name is Anne Labilwa. I am the elder in residence here at Dalhousie. And I welcome all of you, as Tom said, to Mi'kmaq, to our land of the Mi'kmaq people. So I just want to say congratulations, students. Wow, you did an incredible job. And a gift to give thanks to the families and mom and dads and brothers and sisters and aunties and uncles, and because without you, they wouldn't be here today. So that deserves another one. Congratulations. I always like to start the day by saying thank you. Because one of the most important things when I wake up in the morning is that I realize I'm still here and that I'm still breathing. Because this breath that we have, we don't breathe on our own. Someone far greater gives us our breath and allows us to be here, allows us to live and exist and to care for each other and nurture each other. And that is quite a gift. And from that lesson, I've learned that from an elder many years ago about the forest. And I love talking about the trees, because the forest is the only true group of diversity, and how it cares for each other, how it nurtures each other, and how it's sustained itself for millions of years. And the elder told me, she said, well, that's what the lesson we have to learn, how to be able to live like that with each other, to be with each other, to care for each other, to nurture each other, encourage each other, forgive each other, and to help, to love each other. That's what the forest does, because it provides us with life. We are of the forest, and the forest of us is us, and we go back to the earth when we are done with this journey. So as our ancestors had done many, 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 many years ago, they sat with the earth, not just on it, but they sat with it. And they listened, and they observed. They didn't try to change it. They changed their ways of being able to live with it. So they learned what the medicines were. They learned how the forest lived and how it existed, how the animals lived and how they governed themselves and how they spoke to each other, because they listened. And that sometimes we forget how to do that, because we're in an age where it's so fast, it's so quick. We forget how to listen to ourselves. You know, when we want an answer, we just flip the phone open. It's like Google. Wow, there's the answer. And it's so fast, we do this so many times, we almost forget how to take a breath and how to ask ourselves, is this really the truth? Is this a really well truth? It may be an answer, but there's much more to an answer than we actually realize. So I'm going to ask you, if you're very comfortable closing your eyes. If not, it's perfectly fine to leave them open. But I'm going to ask you to meet your breath, which is something we don't do. And so if you could just close your eyes and just relax where you are. And I'm going to ask you to take a breath in through your nostrils, just like a newborn baby does. Takes that first breath in. So let's try that. Take a breath in very naturally. And let that breath go out very naturally. Take a breath in. And let that breath go out. Take a breath in. And now when you let that breath out, just let your shoulders melt. And the beautiful sound of children. We just let it be, because they know that breath. That is so wonderful. This breath in. And this breath out. And let your shoulders relax. Just melt. You feel that weight just coming off. All the excitement and the agitation and getting lost and getting here and planning for this evening or tomorrow, just let that all go. This breath in. and this breath out. And just sit and be with the one who gives you your breath. Sit with the ancestors of all the nations. For this is the most important moment of your life, right here, right now. O great Spirit, whose voice I hear in a wind, whose breath gives life to all, hear me, for I am young, small, and weak. I need your strength and help. Take my hands so that I can learn to respect the beautiful things you have made, including myself. Take my feet and guide me so I can find the path that is full of life, of love, compassion, forgiveness, understanding, hope, wisdom, joy, and peace. Help me to learn the lessons you have placed in every leaf and rock, so I can bring those teachings back to the people. And help me conquer the greatest enemy, myself, so that when my eyes fade like the setting sun, my spirit can come to you without shame. Tahoe. That was a prayer by Black Elk many, many years ago, when he always knew how to pray for help. So you can slowly open your eyes now and bring yourself back into the moment. And that sensation when you do open your eyes, it's about what true relaxation really is, not when we go on vacation. We don't relax at all when we go on vacation. I don't know who invented that word, but. So again, congratulations. And today is a day to celebrate, and it's time to party. So.
Wailalin, Elder Tom, Wailalin, Elder Ann, for your words of welcome, for centering us, and your words of wisdom. Dalhousie University is located in Mi'kma'ki, the ancestral and unceded territory of the Lenape. We are all treaty people. There are three key components to this statement. The first is the acknowledgement the land Dalhousie sits on is part of Mi'kma'ki, the territory of the Lenape. The second is the acknowledgement of the territory as both ancestral and unceded, recognizing that the peace and friendship treaties signed between the British Crown and the Mi'kmaq did not involve surrender of the land. Finally, we are all treaty people reflects that the peace and friendship treaties apply to all parties involved, Indigenous and settler alike. At Dalhousie, we continue to work on and build these critically important relationships and friendships and remain committed to the recommendations of the Truth and Reconciliation Commission report. We also recognize that African Nova Scotians are a distinct people whose histories, legacies, and contributions have enriched that part of Mi'kma'ki known as Nova Scotia for over 400 years. African Nova Scotians came to the province through enslavement or through fleeing enslavement elsewhere. Having resided in the region for over 400 years, African Nova Scotian contributions to Nova Scotia and Canada began over 150 years before Canada became a country. We are thankful for the Indigenous and African Nova Scotian faculty members, staff, students, administrators, and elders who partner with us in developing enhancing pathway programs, admission guidelines, curriculum, welcoming spaces, community partnerships, and sharing their knowledge. We know that we have much more to do to transform our colonial past to have a future of inclusive excellence. Today is a day of celebrations, the celebration of completions and the celebration of beginnings. So as we proceed with the presentation of diplomas and degrees, we want the ceremony to reflect that the celebration not be too formal. Please don't worry about the noises of your children. Make some noise for your graduates. I'm sure this day is as important to you as it is to them. You may want to turn off the noise on your cell phone, though. Feel free to show your enthusiasm and cheer for your newest members of the Dalhousie alumni family. This is your day. So go ahead. Post your photos and selfies for friends and family. Send your best to us on social media using #DalGrad. As always, Convocation is being webcast, so hello to those who are joining us from away. And if you like, you can enjoy it again and again through the Dal website. My experience with lawyers is somewhat limited to brief transactions to do with buying and selling a house, writing a will, and a brother-in-law at family functions. However, as someone who studies brain and behavior, I think lawyers have an important role in how we as a society behave. Not just in using written law to bring justice to those who have been wronged, but in changing the laws themselves that govern how we as a society interact with each other and with this planet. I hope that among the discipline-specific knowledge and skills you have gained here during your time at Dal, you have also gained an understanding of the importance of human behavior and connecting with others as you go forward in your careers, and maintain those connections that you forged as part of your time in Halifax. But now, today, in this ceremony, we recognize and celebrate what you have accomplished. So now I'd like to take a moment and introduce to you the individuals who will participate in the ceremony today. So when I call your name, if you could please stand if you are able and remain standing so that the audience can know who you are. Elder Tom Christmas, who gave the traditional Mi'kmaq welcome a few moments ago. Elder Anne Labiloa, our Elder in Residence. Dr. Rustum Southwell, Chancellor. Dr. Kim Brooks, President and Vice Chancellor. Dr. Louise Spiteri, Chair of Senate. Sarah Harding, Dean, Schulich School of Law. Dr. Estelle Joubert, Assistant Dean, Faculty of Graduate Studies. Jelana Lewis, Director, African Nova Scotian Community Engagement. Michelle Williams, recipient of the President's Award for the Advancement of Equity, Diversity, Inclusion, and Accessibility, and University Beadle for this ceremony. And Chief Justice Perry Borden, our convocation speaker. Also on stage today and in the audience are others who have contributed to and been committed to your success. These include faculty and staff, administrators who have been instrumental in your success at Dalhousie. I'd like to ask those members of the faculty who are with us today, whether on stage or in the audience, to rise or otherwise indicate you're here so we can acknowledge you. Thank you. A little business now. Before proceeding, please take a moment to familiarize yourself with the nearest exits, which can be used in the unlikely event of the emergency. This is the airplane portion of the ceremony today. As the ceremony progresses, please be aware that members of the onstage party may need to stand or sit or leave the stage area according to their individual needs. Graduates and guests are encouraged to do the same. We appreciate your support in creating an inclusive environment for all. It is now my pleasure to introduce the President and Vice Chancellor of Dalhousie, Kim Brooks, who will give the opening remarks.
When the class of 2024 first arrived in the Weldon building, it was fall 2021, and they read everything. from start to finish. They underlined, they spent hours taking notes and then summarizing those notes, then converting those notes to CANs, which does in fact stand for cases and notes summarized. They were worried whether they were getting it. They just found out that's what it means. Mostly they were not getting it. Now, 3 years later, they get it, and mostly they would just like the key takeaways. And so since they're graduating, I'm going to indulge them with 3 key takeaways. Key takeaway 1, say yes. Sometimes I'm sitting around with people my age and they look at each other and they say things like, I have to learn to say no. Or around New Year's when people feel compelled to make resolutions even though they know, especially as they grow older, how unlikely it is they will keep them. They say things like, this year I've resolved to say no more often. Try to give yourself the converse advice. Say yes. Say yes to as much as possible. Try things, try new things, try hard things, try things you think you wouldn't try because people you like are trying them. Try things you've sometimes had a hankering to try but have worried that you'd be lousy at them. And I can guarantee that surprisingly good things will happen in your life because you said yes. The correlation is, of course, not perfect. Sometimes you will say yes, and the things you do will truly be lousy. But mostly we regret saying no a lot more than we regret saying yes. That person's done some lousy things, you know what I mean? That's why they hear me. Key takeaway 2, the legal profession is in a state of flux, and you are ready. Dalhousie Law School first opened its doors over 140 years ago. It was the first university law school in any of the common law provinces of Canada, and our early experiments with legal education ultimately became the model for other law schools. Here we are 140 years later in a period of rapid change. There are changes to the design of articling processes, an enormous expansion of what constitutes law, increasing costs of legal services, and evidence that much of the population remains under or overserved, although shout out to the government of Nova Scotia for additional funding for legal aid last week. Shocking rates of depression and substance abuse among practicing lawyers, rising rates of self-represented litigants before courts and tribunals, the reality that new technologies and AI are going to take over your jobs, greater jurisdictional mobility for lawyers, ongoing challenges with the exclusion and discrimination in the legal profession, the disaggregation of legal work into products, and the potential for outsourcing work to other parts of the world. Read again, good luck with your jobs, and the uncertainty about the long-term viability of our legal business models, including business practices. Over your 3 years here, I expect you heard about 1 million times that we are in heady days of change and transformation. You are so lucky. They say the same thing about president roles, just for the record. The reason why we need people with a legal education is not changing. As a society, we face challenges that require people who are analytically sophisticated, careful, thoughtful, and hardworking. People who are outstanding communicators and brilliant problem solvers. That is why our law school came to be over 140 years ago, and it is why it is still relevant and important. You have received a legal education at the best law school in the country. It will stand you in good stead no matter where you find yourselves, and you are ready. Finally, key takeaway number 3. And I appreciate this is odd advice and somewhat depressing at a convocation ceremony, but you cannot have it all. This is perhaps a preoccupation for people of my generation and undoubtedly yours too, who find themselves in law. I don't know what it all is, and maybe it's a preoccupying career, a rich family life, and extraordinary hobbies, maybe also holidays. And I don't know whether we should want it all, but I can tell you only from my experience of being on now the backside of midlife, assuming life will extend me the actuarially predicted number of years, which you know about from torts, which is to reflect that it is often undoubtedly hard. Don't get me wrong, if you're lucky, you've already learned that you are living a great life, a charmed life. During the time in law school, you've had the opportunity to think deeply about intrinsically interesting topics. You've been invited to engage in discussions about some of the world's most complex problems that have troubled us for generations. You've had views about those problems, and you can defend them. You've been provided with the beginning tools for how to help people in the hardest moments of their lives, when their families pull apart, when they interact with the criminal justice system, when their businesses collapse. And when you graduate, odds are good that you will have careers that challenge and fascinate you. Your life will be hard, though, because you will spend at least some of it, hopefully much of it, tilting at windmills. You will fail sometimes in having it all, not because you aren't good enough, or you aren't trying hard enough, or you aren't smart enough, but because you're entering a profession that, in spite of its majesty, fails to service huge communities of people well, because we live in an era, as it turns out, frankly, all eras are, that is tough for lots of people when mental health is pressed and economic conditions are changing and uncertain, and because we continue to live in a world where some people are not provided with a sufficient platform from which to fully realize their potential. These are not just the world's problems, they are your problems. As lawyers, you have a unique role to play, and given even a small snapshot of that context, I have no idea how you think you could possibly have it all. And I have not even started on your personal lives, because they will be a complete disaster. But here is what the dream of law promises you. Examples of person after person who, in the face of all of that, the exhaustion, the challenges, the pressures, and the disappointments, get up the next day, put their head down, and try again. And as graduates of this class, as decent and caring people, I promise that there will be moments in your life that will be so extraordinary, you will wonder how you got so lucky. And when you have those moments, stop and revel in it. Whatever it all is, I have no idea why anyone thinks we are in a position to ask for it. I can assure you that if you are committed to your work and your friends and your family and your community, you will not get it, especially if you embrace my advice to say yes. So set your sights on something attainable, like an outstanding, freshly brewed, hot coffee. And on good days, aim for a latte. I am confident that you are ready for whatever comes next. It may not be quite ready for you. And given that, I'd simply remind you that after each next comes another next. So do not be disheartened. You are magnificent human beings in pursuit of what is possible, and I am enormously proud of you.
Never quite sure how to follow President Brooks. Graduates, if you're able, please stand. Oh, and I forgot to thank President Brooks. I'm so sorry. Thank you, President Brooks. Mr. Chancellor, as Chair of the Senate of Dalhousie University, I ask you to confer degrees upon those candidates whose names have been approved by Senate.
By virtue of the authority vested in me and in Dalhousie University, I admit to their respective degrees and diplomas with all rights, privileges, and responsibilities appertaining thereto, those candidates who have fulfilled the requirements of that degree and whose names have been approved by Senate. Admitto vos ad gradum.
Congratulations. So graduates, please be seated. So graduates, this is the moment you and probably your families have been waiting for. Today, as you cross the stage, you will transition from students to alumni of the Dalhousie Schulich School of Law. In recognition of this, you will greet Chancellor Southwell with a handshake or with your right hand over your heart, and your dean will present you with an alumni pin over here. There's also a photographer, so remember to pause. This pin serves as a reminder not only of your time at Dalhousie, but of the impact you've had as students and the potential you hold to shape the future. We hope you will wear it with pride. I now call upon Sarah Harding, Dean, Schulich School of Law, Dr. Estelle Joubert, Assistant Dean, Faculty of Graduate Studies, and Ella MacDonald, an orator and alum from the Fountain School of Performing Arts, to present the candidates who are here today receiving degrees.
Chancellor Southwell, I am honored to present the following candidates on behalf of the Schulich School of Law who have fulfilled the requirements for the degree of Juris Doctor. Louise Abramowitz. Aislinn Baines Adams. Ashley Tori Aird. John Allo. Leanne Ali Hassan. Colton James Allen. Kate Alexandra Anderson. McKenna Anderson. Noah Archibald. Christian Macaulay Arsenault. Abir Michelle Ayoub. Danielle Alana Bailey Heelan. Loren Layton Francis Bedgood. Terrence Bernard. Riel Morgana Bierke Clark. Samuel Alexander Bodner. Leo Bourgeois. Emily Alexis Bowen. Victoria Catherine Bryce. Benton. Harrison Callahan. Marley Edith Cadell. Devin John Campbell. Kaylee Mackenzie Campbell. Gabrielle Genevieve Rivas Karras. Lucy Michelle Chambers. Megan Christina Chambers. Jasmine Kaur Chauhan. Alice Chen. Caitlin Clark. Lexi Alicia Cole. Nicholas Robert Cook. Michael Vincent Cormier. Weston Lee Crawford. Dominic Nicholas Dabrowski. Daniel Chen Dai. Nicole DeLuca. Armand Dillon. Alita Jardine Doel. Katarina Delaney Doig. Shaughnessy Charles Conlon Dow. Amelia Carol Kelly Eaton. Samuel Alexander Eisner. Michael Gabrielle Ratuski Favel. Alessandra Feldstein. Julia Fitzpatrick. Isabel Flack. Sydney Fougier. Liam Barrett Fraser. Alexander Gary Glatz. Noah James Goucher McMillan. Danielle Elizabeth Harris. Jacob Edward Hatfield. Jordan Sarah Head. Madeline Elizabeth Heinke. Claire Henderson. Eleanor Henderson. Lauren Henderson. Kaidman Heron. Kate Drew Higgins. Austin Riel Doyle Hunt. Marissa Sophie Hurst. Hutchison. Faith Ju Hye Huang. Alexander Deneau Hindman. Hogan William Ingram. Patrick Jackson. Rob Matthew Jollymore. Katrina Louise Karasek. Lan Aaron Keenan. Cassandra Sarah Kelbratowski. Adrian Klein. Rose Andrea Klug. Jessica Landry. Jamie Lynn Lepard. Elise Marie Alituk Lowen. Zachary David Lunetta. Caleb McDonald. Rowan Valerie Markestein. Elizabeth Ann Grace Marr. Kimberly Olivia Mason. Marissa Marie Louise McBride. Daniel Philip McClay. Jacob Melnick. John Mackenzie Metler. Blair Joseph Thomas Miller. Taylor Akimi Minato. Anthony Moniushko. Charles Mortimer. Danielle Murad. Michael Stephen Murphy. Kathleen Murray. Alana Peel Murtha. Ryan Blair Myers. Sandra Naguib. Sashin Narayan. Jeremy James Nicole, joined by Eva Ryu. Claire Elizabeth Nicholson. Rachel Nierenberg. Onikachi Claudia Njoku. John Joseph O'Connor. Preston Alexander Oagley. Catherine Palm. Evan Parsley. Nicole Payette. Graham Pettick. Amy Elizabeth Pettigrew. Chelsea Pham. Shamina Pillai. Nicholas Pinsent Lehman. Davin William Neal Ports. Megan Alexandra Prott. Olivia Ramos. Megan Teresa Recker. Hannah Elizabeth Riley. Aga Kifayat Sadaf. Karina Astrid Scoggins. Lauren Victoria Shea. Emily Dawn Sheehan. Sophia Justine Sedaris. Analia Silvera. Grace Simpson. Josie Slaughter. Lucas Sampson Farmer Soper. Chelsea Alexandra Sprout. Jane Stab. Jillian Annika Clary Steele. Maela Stoddard. William John Storty. Thomas Jordan Sullivan. Jamie Christopher Swinimer. Priya Amanda Szymanski. Bridget Michaela Timmons. Nimrit Carr Tour. Tiffany Young Soy. Ferris Vasco. Rebecca Ann Judge Waxman. Liam Michael Wilford. Margaret Frances Wilson. Brenna Leanne Wing. Eugene Wong Jun Yen. Nicholas Evan Worsley. Kyla Young. Jung Jung. This concludes the presentation of candidates for the Juris Doctor. Chancellor Southwell, I am honored to present, on behalf of the Faculty of Graduate Studies, the following candidates who have fulfilled the requirements for the Master of Laws. Emma Halpern, Master of Laws. This concludes the presentation of candidates for the Master of Laws.
Chancellor Southwell, the degree of Doctor of Philosophy is the highest earned degree awarded by the university, and as such, represents the culmination of the candidate's educational achievement. I am pleased to present the following candidates who, through thesis and examination, have fulfilled the requirements for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Chancellor Southwell, the awarding of the PhD degree completes a long cooperation between the student and their thesis advisor. We are pleased in the ceremony also to recognize the supervisor of the doctoral candidate. And we ask the supervisor to stand and present the alumni pin folder to the graduate following hooding. Following the awarding of the degree, our newest PhD graduates are asked to join the faculty on stage.
Keith Edward McMaster, Doctor of Philosophy and Law, and also Gabby's dad. Michael Duncan Taylor, Doctor of Philosophy in Law. Chancellor Southwell, this concludes the presentation of candidates who are here today to receive the degree of Doctor of Philosophy.
Please thank, before she leaves the stage, our exceptional orator, Ella MacDonald. It is now my pleasure to call upon Dean Sarah Harding to present the recipient of the University Medal in Law.
This is a real honor and pleasure. Mr. Chancellor, it is my pleasure to present the recipient of the 2024 University Medal in Law. This medal is awarded to the graduating student who has achieved the highest cumulative average over the 3 years of the JD program. The recipient is chosen from among those attaining first-class distinction in third year and must have achieved a very high standard of excellence. The recipient of this year's Medal in Law is Elise Lowen. Elise, before you leave the stage, there's a few other things to say about you, so I'm going to finish this. So Elise is from Manitoba. She graduated from Queen's University with a Bachelor of Arts with a major in English language and literature. Today, Elise graduates from law school with a 3-year cumulative average of A+. She is also graduating with a certificate in Aboriginal and Indigenous law. She is a recipient of the Judge Fran Potts Award in Law this year for a student who has achieved academic excellence and shown commitment to the overall spirit of Dalhousie. After graduation, Elise will be clerking with the British Columbia Court of Appeal and Ministry of Attorney General of that province. Join us today again in congratulating Elise, and we wish her all the best.
It is now my pleasure to call upon Devin Campbell to deliver the Valedictory Address.
Thank you for the introduction. Good morning, everyone. My name is Devin Campbell, and I'm excited and humbled to be speaking on behalf of the class of 2024 today. I would like to start by thanking all the family, friends, and loved ones in the audience. Graduating from law school takes a supportive community and often a shoulder to cry on, and we could not have made it here without you. Next, I would like to thank the professors and administration at Weldon who went above and beyond helped us step outside our comfort zones, and enabled us to fully realize our potential. Finally, thank you to the class of 2024. Like many others entering law school, I felt uneasy as a first-generation law student who had no connections to the legal field. My fears quickly faded as we got to know each other. I'm continually impressed with this class's humility, kindness, and the lengths many of you go to support one another. These supports range from simple words of encouragement to faithfully supplying cans, being there during someone's toughest moments, or reassuring somebody that nobody really understands estoppel right before walking to the contracts exam. Sorry, Devlin. I've witnessed many of you prioritize others over your own interests. This makes me incredibly proud to be a member of this class. 3 years ago, most of us were packed into the main lecture hall for the first time, most of us strangers. Dean Cameron listed the incredible and wide-ranging backgrounds in which we came from. Before law school, we were, among many, many other things, accountants, teachers, police officers, farmers/cemetery workers, actors, engineers, nurses, and, well, foresters, from a diverse range of communities located all over Canada and beyond. Although we still have a long way to go to achieve true representation, I believe this diversity is our strength. Classroom discussions were bolstered by our broad experiences and backgrounds, which better helped us understand the societal foundations in which legal principles are built upon. Every one of us will be better lawyers because of this. Law school was challenging, frustrating, and at times really felt like it wasn't going to end. But it is still an incredible privilege, and this privilege comes with responsibilities. One of these responsibilities, as graduates of the Schulich School of Law, is to uphold the Weldon tradition of unselfish public service. It has been stated that the Weldon tradition is often referred to but seldom defined, but it is centered around practicing law for the benefit of our communities, as well as making positive contributions to the broader world. Although it is difficult to define, the actions of Dalhousie Law alumni demonstrate how the Weldon tradition can be supported. Look at Bertha Wilson, the first female Supreme Court of Canada Justice. She helped bring us from a time where some individuals questioned whether women were suitable for the job to today where the Supreme Court bench has a female majority. Yeah! It is impossible to forget about Professor Meinhard de Wel, a mentor and environmental advocate who we tragically lost during our time here. He implemented stronger environmental protections in Canada and advocated for a meaningful response to climate change on an international level. All of this is on top of empowering countless students to not settle for the status quo. Pamela Palmater is a Mi'kmaq lawyer, activist, and politician who has dedicated her career to defending Indigenous rights. And Burnley Rocky Jones relentlessly advocated for African Nova Scotian equity, challenged environmental racism, and helped form the law school's Indigenous Blacks and Mi'kmaq initiative. There's also Barry Dunn. Although he's familiarly known as Ray, Ricky's father in the Trailer Park Boys, he was also a practicing lawyer devoted to promoting Nova Scotia film and took time to lecture entertainment law at Dalhousie. What ties these alumni together is not one specific type of contribution, but rather a career-long commitment to their communities. Upholding the Weldon tradition does not necessarily mean that we need to dedicate our lives to a specific cause. Instead, it encourages us to take positive action where possible and to use our legal education for the public benefit. No matter what you do with your legal education, the knowledge and tools we have developed over the past 3 years enable us to enact meaningful change. It is important to recognize, though, that many of us do not yet have the power nor the influence to invoke the change that we desire. However, as we gain experience, our ability to elicit change will grow. We should also remember that progress is best achieved as a collective. We must continue to embrace our collegial culture and work together to make the world a more equitable place. All of this is my long-winded way of saying that our legacies should not be measured by deals closed, cases won, or wealth amassed. Instead, our success as advocates should be determined by efforts made to support our communities, how we include others, and our recognition of those who support us. I challenge all of you to consider how you can uphold the Weldon tradition as your legal career develops. Now, in celebration of the tremendous work it took to get here, the successes we've had along the way, and to our future accomplishments, please join me in a round of applause for the Schulich School of Law's class of 2024. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Devin. So I have to tell you, I've been to quite a few of these convocations, and it doesn't often happen that the parents spontaneously give the graduates a standing ovation. That was pretty impressive. But now, maybe it's time to return the favor. So I want to call attention to the families and friends of our graduates. We know that convocation is a really important occasion for you as well. I'm sure all of us here recognize the importance of your love, support, and encouragement, and maybe a little bit of pulling along the way. So, graduates, now's your chance to express your gratitude for the role your family and friends have played. May I ask the graduates to stand in the stage party? Almost as good as the parents, but not quite. Please be seated.
Thanks. It's my honor now to introduce our convocation speaker. And when I reached out to him, Elizabeth can probably attest to the fact that I had my door closed. I was calling. Perry said he would call me back. Judge Borden said he would call me back. And when he did, I just yelled out a whoop in my office, which maybe Elizabeth outside heard. But Chief Judge Borden is originally from the north end of Halifax. He graduated from the Schulich School of Law in 2002 and was called to the bar on November 7th, 2003. He received a Queen's Counsel designation in 2020. He began his legal career as an associate lawyer with McGinty McLeave in Halifax. In 2007, he joined the Nova Scotia Public Prosecution Service, and by 2015, he had risen to the level of senior Crown Attorney, a position he held until his appointment to the bench. As a lawyer, Chief Judge Borden spent countless hours giving back to his community and helping improving access to justice and legal services for historically marginalized groups. He served as a member of the Nova Scotia Barrister Society Racial Equity Committee, president of the Nova Scotia Crown Attorneys Association, and he volunteered regularly with the Nova Scotia Court's Justice Day Camp, events for young African Nova Scotians. At the Schulich School of Law, he has served as a part-time instructor and as a mentor of students from the Indigenous Blacks and Mi'kmaq Initiative. On July 9th, 2020, he was appointed, he was one of two judges of African Nova Scotian descent appointed to the provincial and family courts of Nova Scotia. He has presided primarily in Halifax ever since Judge Borden was appointed Chief Judge of the Provincial and Family Courts of Nova Scotia in August 2023. It's a real honor and privilege to have him speaking today.
Thank you. Good morning, family, faculty, friends, and most important, the graduates of 2024. Dean Harding, thank you, I think, for asking me to come and speak to this year's graduating class. Graduates, I have a short window of 10 minutes. 10 minutes for a lawyer or a judge is not a long time, so bear with me. I don't often wish I was Rollie Thompson, but today I do. I'm going to ask that I'm going to speak fast, and I want you to listen faster. In many respects, this morning reminds me of a speed dating. I say that because, like speed dating, I have a short window that I hope that I can make an impression on you, do not bore you to tears, and you feel optimistic about our future. So let's get to it. Silence is a greater threat to injustice than injustice itself. Let that marinate, and before I'm done, I'll circle back to that one sentence. It's not lost upon me that not a single person in this room came to hear what it is that I have to say today. It's also not lost upon me that I wish I went before Devin and not after Devin. Truth is, I am the opening act, and you folks are the headliners. The same cannot be said about what brings us here today. Each and every one of you are the reason why we are here to celebrate your accomplishment and your achievements. The people up in the balcony and to your left, there's not a place they would rather be than right here in this auditorium. They have given up their morning. They've competed with me in jockeying for parking spots around the corner. And I can assure you, it's no small feat that we all managed to get here and get here on time. The fact of the matter is, they want to be here to celebrate your special day. And if you don't believe me, I share my friend's comments when the entire auditorium stood up when they weren't requested to do so to acknowledge your achievement. They did so because all of you could very well be the next great ... Some of you will go on to be great politicians, great professors, great lawyers, and professionals that will attain success that right here in this moment seems incomprehensible. 22 years ago, I sat in one of the seats that you folks are seated in. At that time, I wanted to be the better-looking version of Johnny Cochran right here in Halifax. Based on the laughter, I suspect some of you know that Johnny was an American defense lawyer. While I started out doing criminal defense, I spent 13 years of my career prosecuting. Never in a million years did I want to be a prosecutor. When I was 18 years old, I was wrongfully accused, arrested, and prosecuted for assault causing bodily harm, a crime that I did not commit. That experience was the impetus for me wanting to go to law school and to become a lawyer. That was my rationale for not wanting to work for the man. Despite not intentionally wanting to be a prosecutor, that's exactly what happened. Looking back, I have no regrets on that stage of my career. It was a remarkable and rewarding experience. I've come to learn that in the journey of life, you will discover, that it is complex and fascinating. Trust me when I say this, if I didn't want to be a prosecutor, I can assure you nobody here today knows exactly what you want to do. The fact is, to truly enjoy it, you have to have an open mind and enjoy the adventure. I promise you, you can be certain of two variables: obstacles and opportunities. I believe that it is critical when either present themselves, you meet them head on. I often compare my legal career as being akin to firefighting. When most people run or seek refuge from the blaze, I did the opposite. Equipped with my legal armor and resources, I ran straight into the inferno. As I gaze upon this class, I'm cognizant that I may be speaking to some quasi-firefighters. It's possible that one of you could be a Prime Minister of Canada in the not-too-distant future. Somebody in this room could be a Justice of the Supreme Court of Canada. And there are many other success stories that we are unaware of. But make no mistake, you and only you hold the key to your success. You will spend the rest of your life building your reputation, and you can lose it in the blink of an eye. Remember, you can be a great lawyer, a great politician, but be courteous. You can be confident, but be kind. You can be tenacious, but be fair. Your reputation will precede you, and trust me when I tell you, somebody is always watching. During my first week of law school, I'm going to digress for a minute because I just learned this last week when I was speaking to Professor Kaiser's class. We were told in the big auditorium, I think it was orientation to law, look to your left, look to your right. One of you are not going to be here after the first year. I since learned that's not the case, and it sort of stole my thunder for the joke that I had envisioned this morning. That being said, I would ask the class, graduating class, to look to your left. Chief Judge, look to your left. Look to your right. The professor who said those remarks, he was not speaking about you folks. Nothing has stopped you from getting your JD. You folks have received an education during a global pandemic. That in and of itself is no small feat. Nothing has disrupted you from obtaining your JD aspirations. Tell your neighbor sitting next to you that you made it. Can't hear you. The reason why I wanted you folks to say that is because your voice matters. I'm going to digress for a minute and talk about smoking. Because of science, we can all agree that smoking is harmful, causes death, and it disrupts so many lives. Would it surprise you to know that silence in the face of injustice has caused more death and disruption of lives than smoking itself? Let's put that into context. Slavery, the Holocaust, civil rights, the Black Lives Matter movement, murdered and missing Indigenous women. Those are just to name a few. I can go on, but time will not permit. Silence and inaction were the biggest threat to those injustices than the injustice itself. Fires were raging, and the world was lacking firefighting advocates. You've already received your diplomas. My notes say in a few moments you will receive your diplomas. You may not recognize it at this moment, but that single piece of paper can be the cornerstone for the rest of your career. That cornerstone, that foundation, if you allow it, can be the catalyst for you to endeavor and challenge, fight, and conquer injustices. Make no mistake, injustices come in all shapes and sizes. It could be criminal law, it could be health law, it could be civil rights, it could be corporate commercial, or it could occur at a board table that you're sitting at. It matters not the context, but rather your responsibility and your resolve to articulate and propel your argument. Dr. King said it best when he opined that an injustice everywhere affects justice everywhere. In my view, there are 5 reasons why people attend law school. I suspect some of you are here because mom or dad or grandma or grandpa or somebody else wanted you to be here. Some of you attended as a way to try and find yourself. Others attended as a conduit to earn ridiculous amounts of money. Others as a stepping stone onto the next degree. And I hope some of you are here because you want to make a difference in your community, in your province, and your country. For most of you, your academia journey is over, and it's time that you cut the umbilical cord and jump right into the vast cold ocean. The rest of your life begins today. If you came here for mom or dad or anyone else, you've rung that bell. It's time you pursue your passion. Be silent no more and assert that which you wish to do. Put the pieces in place and go do it. If you came here to find yourself, the good news is you're no longer lost. It's time to take down the internal missing person posters and deactivate the Amber Alert. You have been found. Everyone in this building can see you. Good on you for making it through your own personal wilderness. Now is the time to take the analytical problem-solving skills that you've acquired and put them to use. For those of you who came for the money, there's no doubt in my mind, if you work hard, you will achieve all the riches that you desire. You will have a partnership, you will have that corner office, you will have a name on the firm, and most importantly, you will achieve your impressive financial portfolio that you seek. Just recognize it's possible to be outwardly wealthy, but internally bankrupt. To those who came to make a difference, please do so and do so persistently. Recognize there will be challenges, but don't let anyone or anything extinguish the beacon of your resolve. Amanda Gorman crystallized this when she said, "There's always light if only we're brave enough to see it, if only we're brave enough to be it." The road ahead will be challenging. Please do not let those challenges be your kryptonite. Do not be conquered by the challenge, rather be the conqueror. I have a few quick points, and then I'm done. And to quote the elder, then the partying begins. Point one, each one of you are going to make mistakes. It's natural and it is expected. The key is not to make the same mistakes twice. Do not become bitter. Do not become gun-shy because you messed up. When you fall, and trust me, you will fall, pick yourself up, reflect on the experience, and move forward. Continue falling forward. When you observe family, friends, and colleagues fall, assist them in getting back up. Point two, take care of you. I would be remiss if I left here today and did not advise you that the practice of law is a demanding and challenging career. If you allow it, it will consume you, it will chew you up and spit you out. It's critical that you take care of you, and only you can do that. You are no good to yourself or those around you if you do not find your balance. Where is that place that distracts you in a positive way? Protect that sanctuary, and it in turn will protect you. Go there as often as you can and make it part of your routine. Point three, set goals for yourself and dream big. Some of these goals can be small and insignificant, pardon me. Others will be colossal. Give yourself realistic timelines to achieve those goals. A goal without a plan, realistically, is a daydream or a fantasy. It's a waste of time. Stop wasting time. Put the wheels in motion and be ready for when those obstacles and opportunities present themselves. The great thing about an opportunity, you can always change your mind. If it's not for you, you can pivot and do something else. I believe it's better to take the chance than versus not taking the chance at all. Do not succumb to reflecting on the what-ifs that run in tandem with regret. Point four, many of us are here today because of the difficult journeys of others. They kick down doors and open barriers that historically have been closed. Many of us are here because of their sacrifices. We get to stand on their shoulders, and we are the beneficiary of their firefighting endeavors. Reach back as often as you can, lift up and encourage others along your journey. I challenge everybody graduating today, and I'll double down and say everybody in this room, that by this time next year, you would have reached back and lifted up and encouraged one person. Mentor those coming behind you. I guarantee you the satisfaction that you get from assisting people is a tremendous experience. That simple act of kindness disrupts the norm. It aids in opportunities that may not have existed otherwise. It is infectious, and it can be your first step to breaking the silence. Silence is a greater threat to injustice than injustice itself. I hope that one line has resonated with you. If you don't say anything against injustice, nothing gets said, but more importantly, nothing gets done. You've already received your degree. Take solace in the fact that you hail from one of the most prestigious law schools in the country. To put it succinctly, this institution has a proven track record of producing exceptional talent, legal and otherwise. You have this institutional foundation to stand upon, and you are equipped with an array of legal tools. Take these assets and use them unapologetically as you run into the infernos that await your arrival. Well done, class of 24.
Thank you, Chief Justice Borden, for those thought-provoking and encouraging words. I think you've inspired not just one person, but everyone in this room. Graduates, today you were led into this ceremony and will be led out by our beadle, carrying the new Dawn staff of peace and belonging. This staff is not merely a ceremonial object. It is a representation of our diverse community at Dalhousie. It is filled with symbols, materials, and textures that reflect the richness and diversity of individuals like you, who have and will continue to be lifelong members of Dalhousie's global community. Graduates and guests, the business of convocation is concluded. Please allow faculty and graduates to exit from the room first, led by our beadle. And graduates, congratulations again.
Give me the manage, don't delio no day, nigga much good, my we done it. Give me the manage, don't what a big soul day, nigga much good. Abahon madultinet, abahon madultinet, dan gisuk eliga haluk sigo ulau si amo we aheu we yo we ha ya we yo he ha ya we yo he ha ya we yo he much good, my we done it. Give me the minute, done what a big soul did. Nigga much good, abahon madultinet, abahon madultinet, dan gisuk teligalu. Ulau si amo we ya he we yo we ha yo yo we yo he yo he ha ya we yo he ha ya much to my we done it. Give me the manage, done what a big soul did. Liga much to Rabahon Madutine. Rabahon Madutine. Dan giso keliga look sigo ulaw si amo we aheo we o we ha ya ya we o he o we ha ya we o he ha ya ya we o he ha ya we o he ha ya we o he ha ya ya we o he ha ya he o we o we ha ya ya we o he o we ha ya we o he ha ya ya we o he ha ya we o he ha ya we o he ha ya ya we o he ha ya he o give me the manage down delio no day nigga much stood my we done it give me the manage down what a big soul did nigga much stood abahon madultine abahon madultine dan gisul teliga haluk sigo ulaw si amo we aheo we o we